Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mice, 2 hours, starting now.
Good morning, Sherman Oaks.
Oh, man. Happy Monday to you. All right, here's what we have to do to the
Monday
people.
is like a huge abstraction to me now, as a concept even. What are you doing? Now I have to watch. I have to watch you now?
Yeah, you know what you had to do? I don't mind watching you.
Yeah.
I'm very used to you. You're a very handsome man.
Well, it's true. It's true.
But I don't know that
And I feel like I bring a gravitas to this Zoom.
Yeah, but, if you put some lotion on the gravitas, it should definitely go away. If it returns. Hey, I have a new joke. You ready, Josh? Please excuse my appearance while I'm aging. You okay? Are you okay? Are you? No, seriously. Hey, thank God we were able to correct this. Are you okay?
I think it's a solid joke.
Yeah, you're not going to reject. We need everything we can get.
Yes.
What?
Huh?
We need everything. I still haven't had someone call me up and say, you're going to Montreal, or you're staying in L.A., or you're...
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you the money anyway?
Yes, I definitely
That's
do.
not a good deal.
I don't care.
That's not a nice lady.
That's where I'm at.
Wow, you drive a hard... What, did you take one of those Dr. Phil workshops?
That's right.
Dr. Phil's not... I listened to this show called...
Don't spit in my face and tell me you're pissing on my shoes.
My son's a doctor. My son's on the doctors. I wish I could do... I think I could do a Southern accent. But Dr. Phil is not a good guy, according to this show I listened to called Behind the Bastards.
Just the title itself sort of says, you're in for trouble.
For you? Yeah, it's trouble behind those bastards.
Are you drinking Ovaltine?
Is this better for you?
Is this Ovaltine you're drinking?
Mm-mm. It's a shake.
Ah.
So here's the thing, though, Josh. I don't think people realize how exciting pulling this off was.
This has been a nightmare week for Thought Spiral.
How come you can't see me too good? Oh, you can, right?
I
don't
can
play
see.
with it, right?
I can see. Well, now you're in the middle. Now you've got good framing.
Monkey in the middle. Monkey. Susan doesn't like when I show things.
Is that your green screen curtain rod behind you?
Shut up. She's going to get in big trouble now. Just shut up. Don't say anything. Don't pretend you're not talking to me.
All right. This won't be a video podcast, I assure you.
Oh! So anyway, here's what happened. We're not going to say what happened. I don't really want to say what's going on because
we both have been dealing with serious family crises this week.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I think that is enough. Crazy about this visual thing now.
Yeah. And did
anybody tell you have beautiful eyes?
I tell myself every morning when I give myself the finger guns in the mirror.
That's a good method. Pow, 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 pow. Hey, do you think I have issues with my sexuality, and that's why I keep joking with you about homosexual encounters?
Well, it depends if you consider those issues or not.
I just find you to be more attractive than any woman I've ever been with.
Well, in many ways I am.
In many ways, you're more womanly than the most women. You're more woman than I can.
I'm definitely more woman than you can handle.
Yeah, so we have family issues, and we don't want to talk about it because it's not the kind of thing that's fun. You know?
No, it's yeah.
Remember how much fun it was when my mom and sister died? It's not this much fun.
Right. Yeah. We're having similar not funness over here.
And maybe at the end of this, we'll have a great one-man show about it.
I think so. Which one of us is the one man, though?
Well, we're both men. I consider both of us men.
We're just one man together.
Let me tell you something, Josh.
We'll do a one-man show as a duo. It's good.
We are one. Okay, you ready? We are one together.
Person.
We two along. Come on, sing it. You're fucking it up. You are two along.
Together.
You're flat. You. I like the guy who's such a fucking lunatic. He doesn't realize he can't sing. You're flat. I've
actually witnessed it firsthand with actual Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Oh, that was terrible. But that's we can't judge them on that one. Was that for? Was it Helplessly Hoping, or was it the 4th of? Wasn't it like a national anthem or something?
Well, the one in the movie was Silent Night at the White House. But I've told you the story of it happening in person on the Kinnear show too, where we had to lie to them. And
we're talking about this again.
Tell them.
Was it all Crosby, or was that?
No, it was impossible to tell, frankly.
So it wasn't like
they were doing "In My Life" by the Beatles in straight 3-part, and
that's when you don't want to have trouble.
Yeah.
Bum boom, bing 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 bang. Oh, I forgot my question. Question. What's your question? So, where were we? Oh God! Now it's hey, thank God we fixed all the problems, Josh. Back to this.
Yes, and then part 2 of the Nightmare Week was tech breakdowns every single time we attempted to talk.
Yes. Now here's the situation.
So now it's Saturday morning for those.
It's Saturday morning, and you can't even. I'm telling you, you can't edit this. That's why every single thing I'm saying, I plan on it being gold.
Good. That would be helpful.
And if it's, excuse me?
That would be helpful.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting. And if it's not gold, it will at least not be stream of consciousness.
No.
So it will just be regular sentences.
You've plotted every move.
I have. You can't. I'm not going to lose today. I'm not going down today.
Okay,
I'm not going to go down today.
Good.
It's not going to go down this way, if that's what you were thinking.
I say bring your A game.
If I could bring my A game, you think I would be on Stuff You Should Know. What would be like a better podcast?
I don't know. We need to find a new gold standard podcast for that punchline.
Well, no, but even murder. Wouldn't we be jealous of the American Murder Girls?
I'm jealous of anybody who makes a go of it.
I mean, they're making a lot of money, I think.
I know. Off of other people's misfortune. What about us? We're just sunshine.
Yeah. Where's our ring? Where's our gold ring? Now, Josh, I just realized something. I'm not plugged in. I have 65% left. Should I plug in?
I would wait till you get to about 25 and sell.
Why did I laugh at that? You know what it is?
I don't know, but I appreciated it.
You delivered it with such joy. Wait till it goes to 30 and sell.
Yes.
Are we incels? I just still don't quite know what incels are. No, we're cisgenders?
No, we're vol cells.
What is that? I like that.
Incels are involuntary celibate.
Oh, well, that describes me.
We're voluntary celibate. It's called marriage, people. Am I right?
Folks, let me tell you something. I love marriage. Not for sex, though. Not good for that. Oh, this doesn't even sound like a bit.
It doesn't really.
Let me tell you something. If you want to spice up your sex
sounds like your version of father and son.
Oh, I don't want to be monogamous because I see that you cheated on my mother, and now you want me to commit to the same woman for the whole life. Doesn't seem like the right song.
There may be snow on the roof, but there's still a fire in the furnace now.
It's good stuff. How about this? Monogamy is such a loudly word. Is that Billy Joel's?
So yes. Although you made it. I feel like you made it your own.
Yes, this is how it starts with the parody tunes.
Yes.
Monogamy.
So how did it feel? So you had to actually leave town to deal with your crisis.
Yeah.
So you were in a hotel. What did that feel like after all this time?
Money. It felt like money, and not in the way the guy meant it from Swingers.
Yeah.
It was money.
Yeah.
For example, I just brought up to you that wherever I went, and I'm not willing to divulge it, except I said I was in San Diego on Twitter.
That's true. And on that thing we did the other night.
What did we do the other night?
That you jokes thing?
Oh. How did we do? Okay, and so don't start me on that.
If you want to see Andy and I on a internet game show thingy, go to youtube.com/ujokes. That's the letter U, jokes.
Yeah, that's right. You sure? I forgot what we were. I don't know. I had something going there. I really had something going.
So you were in San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
And you were at a hotel.
Yes. Now, you brought up the fact that you said you rented a car. You said it like this: you rented a car.
Yeah, I did. I said it that way because I know you owned one. That's
yes.
why.
And now, and since you mentioned that, I started to think. Since I hung up, in between this, was we're trying to get this going. I was like, yeah, what the fuck why was that happening? Why was I have a car. Isn't that true?
It is true.
63%. We have a car.
I heard that rental cars are quite expensive right now. Did you find rental car to be super expensive?
In fact, as I'm sitting in San Diego at my hotel, which seemed to be bumped up too, I'm watching a story on CNN. Rental cars up 30%. Hotels through the roof. But what I said to myself was, I'm an adult, Andy. An adult doesn't fix their current car and get it up to snuff. An adult rents a car when they need a good one.
Right.
That's why I'm an adult, and that's why I've achieved so much.
Well, at least you have tenants to live by.
I love that word, tenants. And you know what? I almost fucked up today even because I dropped the rental car off. And I said to the guy, this is funny, John. You're going to love this. I rented a car for 7 days.
Yeah.
Right? And then I extended it. And so I extended it. But when I brought it back, I said to the guy, hey, I just want to make sure you got the message that I extended it. And he goes, yeah. I said, because I don't want you guys to think I'm wanted.
Yeah. And did he laugh like he should have? No. Laugh and laugh and laugh. Double over.
It was an awkward laugh. An awkward laugh. Like, maybe I am wanted. Why would someone who's not wanted talk about being wanted?
He just quietly said, nobody wants you, sir.
He backed off. He started to back away from the vehicle I was returning.
I wish you would have called me for rental car return advice.
Oh, what would I do? What would you have said? Oh, because are you buttoning up our bit?
I am, yeah.
Aren't you happy? I'm very happy. I should give myself a reward. I like a cookie.
I like Morning Andy with his synapses still intact.
Oh, I've taken a lot of stimulants. Let's not kid ourselves. I can't answer the phone. I can't answer the phone without 30 milligrams of amphetamine swirling through me. There's two ways I prepare for podcasts and life. I can, and neither one of which I did today. Oh, I think you're in luck. No weed. No weed.
No, I know. It's early.
I don't even feel high from last night. Did you ever feel high from the other night? I never did. When you were younger? Maybe.
I have awakened with alcohol still in my system.
Right. But not high?
No, not that I that I noticed, at least.
I don't have a napkin, Josh, and I'm not going to get a napkin as long as you don't start on me.
All right.
Do you see a lot of chocolate around my mouth?
I see you look like a 3-year-old in a pie eating contest.
It looks like Andy confused blackface when he was in college.
That's right.
You know what, Josh? I am waiting. I haven't heard it yet. I'm waiting for your crazy blackface story. I don't have one. Don't have one.
I'm fortunate to not have one either.
I mean, I think we've talked about this. When Prince William dressed up as Hitler, I had no problem with that.
No.
He's a kid.
Sure.
He's Hitler all of a sudden. He's not actually Hitler. He's play Hitler.
I went as a PLO agent when I was about 10.
That is just so terrible. That is the wrong thing for a Jewish boy.
It was. And a very Jewish suburb, too.
Well, at least you knew your crowd.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You weren't going to, you know what I mean. You were, well, how did we get onto this again?
Only 2 pieces, do not chew me down. Stuff like that.
Oh, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought that we were already marveling at my synapses. Maybe my synapses, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Maybe my synapses are just at a certain level where they're never going to be back to snuff.
Well, you're never going to be alert enough to protect yourself from self-destruction.
That's the thing, too. So all those years of martial arts, it's just pissed it down the drain. Unless you come at me with a knife like this. It's my old act. My old act, Josh.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. If I were you, I would not mess with me. Seriously. Seriously.
All right, I won't.
How do we? This is exciting. Maybe we've moved to a new phase. Not as good sound.
All right.
And no editing. This is a new. Did you ever read the back of Let It Be?
I don't know if I ever had an original copy.
What's the one that Phil Spector did?
That's Let It Be.
Okay. So he writes on the back, this is a new phase. I think it's him who wrote it. This is a new phase Beatle album, and some other garbage, he says. What? He had to reinvent the Beatles? Is that
right?
He had to figure out how to make the Beatles sound good?
After they broke up.
I mean, come on, Josh. This is like they're going, hey, folks, look, give these people a chance. It's the Beatles. I don't know if you've heard of them. Right. I'm producing this album. Give them a shot.
Did you ever hear the Let It Be, the stripped down one that they put out a few years back?
I think I have it, too. And I think I was disappointed in it. And I think we talked about it, and so were you, right?
I don't think we talked about it, but I wasn't disappointed by it, but I wasn't, it didn't blow the top of my head off with how different it was, It was mostly Long and Winding Road that he specterized the most.
Well, because I listened to the Beatles at an age that I loved everything, it's hard for me not to like the Long and Winding Road, but it's a terrible, terrible production, isn't it?
I don't think,
Let me finish.
No, I don't think it's terrible, but it's terrible in that the author didn't want it that way.
Oh, but you're saying ba ba da 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 and still is Schmoopy.
Well, but but like you, that's how we learned the song. That's how we heard it, and
I think I don't have a problem with the song.
I didn't have a problem.
I only had a problem with it when people started talking about how Paul didn't want it.
Right.
I have no opinion about the Beatles that's valid in and of itself because it's all based on other stuff that was going on.
Yeah, because I was not born when they were together, none of my Beatle positions come from, they're all sort of secondhand in that way.
Yes.
Like I never experienced them in the moment. So I had to sort of put all my own shit on them instead of the world's shit,
But am I right in saying that only Paul was like interested in the benefit of Mr. Kite Schmoopy? That's his stuff, right? All of those Penny Lane and maybe Penny Lane. I don't see it. No, am I wrong? All of those things that are like when he's 64 or that has any kind of frivolity to it. That's got to be Paul, right?
Well, it is, but I don't, but that was sort of John's scorn about Paul, but.
No, I don't buy, no, I don't think it was wrong, but.
But yeah, generally, it was like the stuff that wasn't first person, was generally Paul, But Penny Lane was totally just Paul's version of Strawberry Fields,
How come I don't get that? Was he answering it or?
Well, it wasn't, he was writing a song about a specific place from his childhood like John was.
Oh, it's a beautiful song.
And they put it out, and they put him out as a double A-side single is what they called it.
Yeah, and then what's some of those, they had some good British words in that song. For every head.
A Mac. Banker never wears a Mac.
Mac in the falling rain.
Pouring rain.
I said pouring rain. What'd you hear? I have to say that my angry guy, if I give it a rest, is very good.
Yeah.
Because it's so ridiculous. I just said the thing. I'm lying in your face. I said pouring rain.
To me, that's you becoming your father.
You mean dead?
Yeah.
Bumpers. Bumpers. I can't stop looking at you now.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh, What's that thing in the thing? Is that a Weinstein bumper sticker, or was that when you ran for office?
Right there. That was my father running for school boards.
Oh, wow.
1976.
You never told. Your father was like your father enjoyed the public type of thing, like running for. He wanted to do it, obviously.
He was a multi-term school board member and chairman.
So he won elections.
He did.
Oh my God, your dad! I wish I had known your dad. I really do. I feel like I got the dregs.
You really did. You got the. I'm just something they lipoed off of him.
Hey, look. Yeah, you ever meet Josh Elvis Weinstein? Yeah, he's good, but have you met his dad? Your dad hung out with Bob Dylan, and we have photos of it.
It's true.
Photos.
True
You can't
enough.
say that about everyone's dad.
No, but a lot of people's dad.
Yeah, because Dylan did get around.
Yeah, he's 80, so there's people.
I did watch No Direction Home, pretty much all of it, and I'd never seen it before.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it very much. I could watch that for a long time. I don't care. I'm not going to say, oh, it was a little loose.
Yeah.
It was really good stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched it recently. I watched it. It came out like 10 years ago, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been out for a while. And then I did see our movie, too.
Did you? Is it time?
Homework, we should do homework. We watch a movie, then we give our take.
I watched The Octopus Teacher.
Yeah.
And I expected to hate The Octopus Teacher because you told me, because I hadn't gotten a chance, the things I can't tell you about that are so exciting that are happening in the family that I can't divulge, happened when I was going to watch The Octopus Teacher. I don't think it's called The Octopus Teacher.
It's called My Octopus Teacher.
My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole movie thinking, what is it that Josh hated about it? What did we know he hated it? What did he hate about it? And my guess is that you did not. Here's my guess. You ready?
Sure.
You did not buy the guy's relationship with the octopus. You felt that he had anthropomorphized it, or whatever the word is, to the point of that it seemed as if it was not. He's describing this relationship that might not be there.
Yes, that was just one of the facets of my hatred.
I did guess one of them.
You did, absolutely.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Because if you look at an octopus, it's about the closest thing to an alien we have on Earth. You know, it's this almost liquid creature with its intelligence in its arms for the most part. So to like treat it like a dog is just ridiculous. You know, to assign the kind of intelligence that we have to this animal, you know, is ridiculous.
Yeah, but some people are assigning intelligence to the octopus.
No, I think there's an incredible intelligence to the octopus. That's not the point. The point is that I don't think that intelligence is articulated in the way we understand intelligence.
Well, if it's not, then that guy spent a lot of time doing that.
Well, this is an animal that, it's like most developed survival mechanism is knowing its environment to use as an asset in avoiding being eaten.
Yeah, I did read that. I did read that they.
But I mean, that's their genius is survival essentially, because they're like the tastiest morsel in the ocean. You know, there's no bones. There's no bones. There's no scales. There's just if you find an octopus and you're a predator, it's a good fucking day. So.
But we don't like them. I don't like them as one of my least favorite sushi items.
I love grilled octopus.
Yeah, it's good.
But that's not the point. I'm talking about predators in the ocean, Andy. I'm not talking about Jews at a restaurant.
Are you sure? Because there's a lot of crossover.
But what I'm saying is, so their sort of raison d'etre is to explore their environment, so that they can use it as a method of escape, being it under rocks or wrapping themselves in kelp or wrapping themselves in seashells as armor, all these genius things. So this guy makes himself a part of the environment by just being there in an unthreatening way every single fucking day.
Well, he's also rooting. He's rooting for the octopus against the sharks.
He is, but he's not intervening. So what kind of fucking friend is that?
No, but you wouldn't want him intervening, would you?
Oh yeah. What the hell good is a friendship with a human if he can't help you out? Is my point.
I never thought of it.
If you're already changing, by observing, you are changing. By being there, you are changing. I wanted him to jump the shark in this case.
Those sharks are scary.
But but my point is that the octopus, once this man becomes a part of the environment, the octopus is going to explore it. And now this octopus has come in contact with literally the only warm thing it will ever touch in its life. And so, of course, it's interested in it.
Why is it? Is everything in the ocean cold?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yes, except for mammals, which,
Yeah, well, so are you saying whales are mammals now? Is that what you're claiming?
I am claiming that, yes.
So they're warm-blooded?
They are, yes.
They are?
Yes.
And do they have eyes and stuff? And do they have a belly? And do they eat? And do they propel themselves through an ether-like system?
But mostly what I hated about this movie, ignoring all your
hilarious
your
aside.
Forced baleen hilarity, I just hated that they artificially sort of applied this psychological story to this trove of footage they had, which was their real asset, It just felt like such bullshit to me. And I just, I hated this narrator throughout the movie. He had, he was a terrible person to be stuck with for an hour.
Who was that guy?
He was the guy in the movie.
Oh, Craig Foster.
Yeah.
He did not have the most.
I hated listening to him. I hated his second person narration of when you get into the water, you start to feel and this, and then you start to do this. No, you started to do this.
What is that thing? He says no wetsuit. What is he, Mr. No Wetsuit?
Well, he wants to get in touch with his amphibian nature. So I just hated it. And I started feeling incredibly claustrophobic about halfway through. I really did. I mean, had we not been homeworking this, I would have been so fucking out of there.
Yeah, you would have run out of that theater.
First of all, my personal bias is that I don't like documentaries where the subject is the filmmaker's journey of making the film.
Unless it's Werner Herzog, which I haven't seen any of
even that I don't like all guided I'll be honest.
Everyone does, though, so I have to watch one of those.
But at least Werner Herzog's voice is an interesting thing to be, guided with.
But I heard he jumped off of because he claimed if we are able to shoot this, I'll jump off of a rock into this horrible briar patch with the crew. And they said, don't do it. He lost a bet with little people. He had bet these little people, and he said, I'm going to... And so he jumps off into this cactus patch and injures himself. Now, that's a guy I want to know.
I want to party with you, cowboy.
If I had to see one movie, what would you say? I mean, I want to see one movie. What do I see of Werner's?
I would go with Grizzly Man.
Okay.
It's not the most Werner Herzog, but it's an interesting.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you hadn't said anything, I think I would have enjoyed it more, but...
I truly hate it in ways I can't even articulate.
Give us a couple more examples.
I just can't believe how visceral this movie made me feel. Particularly since I thought the octopus information was really interesting and beautiful,
Right. Now, that information was true probably, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he was making shit up except for the feelings he was attributing to the octopus. But there was also a creepy stalker quality to the whole thing.
Leave the octopus alone, you stupid.
There really was this sort of, he almost there was almost
sexual.
It was almost sexual and almost at least romantic.
I didn't like that with the octopus on his hairy stomach. That's not sexy to me.
No,
what am I supposed to get turned on by that?
But again, that's my point. Is was that an octopus hug? No, it was an octopus just feeling something warm.
No. This octopus, he knows. The guy has a sixth sense.
Yes. But this whole
guy's
thing
gonna
of
kill
like, I
somebody.
didn't care at the beginning what his problem was. He was depressed because he'd lost his connection with nature. Come on,
Oh, yeah, that was
Fucking,
weak.
You know,
Why
it just
was
felt
he depressed?
so. Because I don't know. I mean, literally, he was burned out and
You have to have that in the movie.
Had lost his But I read a little bit about the making of it, and it's as I suspected. It was just like attempt after attempt to try to impose a story on this footage. You know,
You know what I was amazed by, though, that they did a pretty good job of is showing how much fun just that shallow water stuff could be. Like, he did find a particularly interesting place to run around, or is that also like?
no, I mean it was a real kelp forest. But
have you done that?
have I dived in a
Snorkeling?
kelp forest?
No, have you done any snorkeling? I haven't done it.
I have done some snorkeling, like in Hawaii and stuff.
Is it like that when you get underneath?
Well, if you have the skills to hold your breath for 30 he got good so he could hold his breath for 2 minutes at a time. It seems like
I know he seems like he's down there an hour and a half, but he won't put the tank on.
mostly I was floating on top and just got seasick, bobbing up and down with the waves. But
Yeah. But why is he? But see, that's the thing. Now I start to wonder about why he so didn't want a tank down there. Is that because he wants to be a fish?
Yes,
right?
exactly. I mean, that was the whole thing they set up was, he wants to be like a bushman in the Kalahari, where they are part of the environment and therefore so in tune with it.
The trackers and stuff like that. But he's not like those trackers.
Well, the analogy they're setting up is that he became that underwater.
Yeah. Fat chance, my friend. Fat chance.
But I also, even the little things like just the fact that they cheated so much footage to be narrative bothered me.
What did they steal?
They didn't steal. They just they portrayed things as if they were being shot in live as they were happening, but they were clearly just subbing in shots to make it
right.
Like the shark chase was,
first of all, how
was
do we
clearly
know
a combination of
scenes, right?
I mean, they had like 3,000 hours worth of footage or something.
How do we know that's the same octopus every time?
We don't. I mean, we can assume it is.
Why? Why do we assume it is?
Probably because when you saw the other octopus next to it, it looked enough different.
Oh, wow.
That I buy that it was the same octopus.
He's got into your heart now. He
got into my something, but it wasn't.
Well, I dated an octopus once in college briefly.
Yeah, she was all hands.
Did you know that? I like that one. Do you know that Al Sharpton is the president of the National Action Network?
Do you have your TV on right now, Andy?
No. When I was in college, I was also president of my local National Action Network.
Yeah.
How many times have I done that joke?
You have not ever done it because I would have shut you down had I heard it before.
I use it on Twitter probably twice a week.
Ah.
No, but I'm very angry at you for thinking that I've ever had a TV on. Now, can you imagine if I had a TV on or any distraction?
Yeah. Well,
I can't even.
All right, I apologize, Andy.
Not enough. Not good enough. Too late. Why is that so satisfactory? I'm sorry, Andy. No, I don't accept it. Too late. No good. Well, this movie sucks now. And why did it win? There had to be better movies now, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
They made that scene with the octopus reaching out for him like that was going to be like Helen Keller.
Like it's fucking E.T.'s finger.
Yes. And now I'm beginning to think that the relationship between that guy and that octopus is not as deep or multi-layered as it seemed to be in the movie.
Well, that's my theory.
When he showed up that one time with flowers and chocolate, I was like, come on. And then when he asked the octopus where would she like him to stick it in, I didn't think that was good.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
couldn't have gone with asking her father for her hands in marriage? Come on.
I couldn't if I was a clever joke writer. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Those octopuses.
This guy's a sucker for an octopus.
He really is. I didn't like him explaining anything. These 2,000 suckers. Is he like from Australia?
He was South
don't
African.
know.
South African.
That's worse. I don't like white people from South Africa. I decided.
Yeah.
Do you know I heard that the Queen, the only person who was allowed to call the Queen Elizabeth, what's her name? Is it Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Was Nelson Mandela.
Huh.
Is that not even a good fun fact?
And
What did you come up with? You got nothing. You bring nothing to the table.
I had
Every
octopus
time I bring
jokes
these-
at least.
No, I bring great stuff every week. I get shit. I get this guy. This guy. Oh, I can't. I forgot I can see it now.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
Well, you are not going to recommend. But there were some really. What was that? Was that a best short live action? No, best live action documentary.
As opposed to an animated documentary?
I don't know. What do you think it was? What was that
It
category?
was best documentary.
That's not the best documentary in any year.
I agree.
We go look. Oh,
I'd like to. I tend to think I had the best documentary last year.
I think you're right. Did you?
No.
Did you? No.
No,
Here's
of
what I'm
course
going to do. Josh. I want you and I to write this movie. It'll take us 10 minutes to shoot it.
Right.
I keep going back the same day and pretending it's an ant, the same ant.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I put my finger down the street. Looks on my finger.
Yeah.
And then we cheat some other footage, like I'm in bed with it or something.
And we have you as like the Jackie Mason aardvark.
No, it's just like,
Hey there, Ant. Hey, it's good to see you again, Ant. I'm back.
hello, ant.
I brought you a chocolate bar.
How did your friends like the cracker? Did your friends like the cracker? And this man, I only we can do Jackie Mason if I get wound up. And this man, he comes to me, he says to you, maybe I shouldn't work on my impressions.
It's hard. It's hard when you can't in this configuration. I can't actually hear myself in my earphones
How come?
because that's just the way Zoom is. So,
But how come I can hear you in the earphones?
can you hear you in your earphones though?
I don't think I can.
Exactly.
Josh, I can't hear the. How about that as the name of my last album? I can't hear the earphones anymore. Are these things on?
Hence the deafness.
I want to make a series of albums all about aging, is what I want to do now.
I think that sounds like an actual concept.
Because I think it's what people hunger for.
I think so.
They hunger for someone like me who's getting close. Well, I'm not that close to death, but I keep saying I am, and maybe I am.
Right. You're speaking it into existence.
Well, I think so.
Or in this case, out of existence.
Okay, well, here's what I keep saying to myself. I'm 64, right?
Yeah.
Not bad, right?
No.
It's okay.
No.
But when I'm 70, it's going to be just depressing.
I know. Vera, Chuck, and Dave will all desert you.
That's the most depressing thing in my mind that you'd have to be when you're 64. Happy 64th birthday. Yeah, I get it. Saga-da-doo-doo, boom-ba-doo-boom. Get that. Take that album and break it. Also, I could do without old friends. How terribly strange to be 70. No, Paul fucking Simon. I know I'm cursing so much today. It's not terribly strange to be 70. In fact, Paul Simon, you're probably 70. I don't know why I'm getting mad at him about it.
Yeah, especially since he's like 80.
I don't want Dylan to die. I love Dylan so much. I don't want him to die. I can't deal with it if he dies.
I'm still a little resentful that he's 80 and my dad died at 52, frankly.
Okay, well then that's true. Die, Dylan, die. Wait a second. That is kind of amazing. You really did miss out on, not that everyone gets a certain allotted time for family, but you did get short-cheated in the time What's the matter? What were your mom and dad? What were they partying? Is that what it was?
That's
they
what
were
it
out
was.
there.
Yes,
Your mom couldn't stop with the coke.
exactly.
Did either your mom or dad try coke? No, right?
I don't know. I doubt it, but I wouldn't be shocked. I know they smoked pot.
Really? Did they like it?
I guess I would be shocked if my mom ever tried coke. I would not be shocked if my dad did. My dad had a genuinely adventurous streak to him. But my mom was a rule follower.
Right. Yeah. I can see. My mom was a rule follower. Well, I don't know what my mom was. She was a rule, but she would. Her whole thing with us was like, what? I've told you this a million times. If I got in trouble at school, like the day I dressed up backwards, which I thought was pretty funny, and walked backwards, and what did you do? What did you do? You couldn't say it. She just. It was worse that she had to hear that you got in trouble than that you got in trouble.
Right.
Were your parents cool about negative things happening with you?
Well, I mean, I would say that's when they were their least cool. But my parents were almost always found a way to be on our side.
Yeah, and the fact that
even if that was because my brother and I were fucking lying to them to get them on our side. Let's be honest about that.
All kids do a good deal of lying, right? There's no.
Yeah, my parents made it easy though because my brother and I were both super mature from a very young age, or at least outwardly mature. So they attributed that they credited us with the maturity that we were displaying, but maybe not possessing. Because it was easier. Yeah. They weren't. They were kind of laissez-faire parents. Not in a negligent way, but they'd much rather not deal with something than deal with something.
Right. So, my parents were.
So if we had a smart and plausible explanation for something, that made us look better than we were, they would tend to accept that.
Well, plus, who gets hurt in that scenario?
Yeah, I think
you're
so.
hiding someone you murdered.
Right.
Well, wait a second. Why did I say that? Have I murdered someone? Did I covered it up?
I don't know.
I certainly hope not.
That's for you to disclose.
But if I do disclose it, look, I'm not saying I have killed. I'm not saying I've killed.
Oh no,
somebody.
you have podcast immunity. Don't worry.
Right. Okay. I'm not saying I've killed somebody or perhaps a few people. But all I'm saying is, I don't know why. What am I trying to create here?
Does it get funnier from here?
No, it doesn't get funnier. It doesn't get. When does it get funny? Was the name of my first album.
All right. Shows how far you've come.
I am fascinated with the fact that I am thinking that I'm going to be arrested for something and can't stop talking about things like that.
Right.
I will be arrested for unfairly murdering someone. I didn't do it, Josh. I did not do it. Do you believe me?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm worried about. I want someone who comes to jail when I'm up for something, and not like you. Yeah. I don't want you coming in and go, look, I have to be honest with you, Andy. You fucked up. No, I don't want that.
All right.
I want you to go, look, those people maybe pushed you too far, and that's why you murdered them. And the drowning of them in the bathtub, well, that was the closest item you could use.
Where's he headed with this?
Look, Andy, you killed a couple of people that were under 18.
Wow. You just keep piling on yourself here.
Look, I'm not saying I was right. I'm just saying these two twins that we're friends with were very annoying.
They're twins. They're underage twins now. Okay,
they're underage twins. All right. We were both the same age.
Were they the ones in the hallway telling you to come play with them?
We were both we were all 16, so it should have been no problem. I said, hold my gun to one of the kids. He wouldn't hold the gun.
So you should just be a juvie, really.
Look. It does, for some reason, this is enjoyable, like almost like aversion therapy or something.
Yeah.
You talk about your worst fears. But to the people who are listening, they go, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like a guy who constantly talks about that he may have done something horrible and then passes it off as an illness.
There's really only so many confessions we can listen to before we start to get suspicious.
That sounds a little like Dr. Phil. Yeah, Dr. Phil. Today on the I've been doing this show for 15
Don't
years.
confess to murder and then tell me you're kidding.
You could be a great Dr. Phil. Oh, God. He is worse than Dr. Oz, apparently. But apparently Dr. Oz is bad, but I didn't listen to that show yet. But with
Don't stalk an octopus and tell me it's in love with you.
Wait, who does that sound like? Don't tell me. No, it is Dr. Phil. I don't know.
There was probably a little bit of Huel in there too. It's because I can't hear myself. I being able to hear myself is part of the impression.
That has got to be not good for an impressionist.
No.
Are you getting it? Today we're going to film Lou going to his therapist because he has is suicide. Now, Lou, tell them you're suicidal from working with me all these years. Camera shaking up and down.
Now, Louie, you killed that guy back at the.
Now, Lou, Lou must have. I mean, at some point you must have. I bet he said something like at lunch to somebody else. He keeps fucking asking me, "Am I getting it? Who? That's my only job is to fucking get it. What does he think I'm doing?"
Right. Does he really think him eating menudo is going to the fucking Museum of Broadcasting?
Lou must have missed something once.
He probably did, and he just never let him forget it.
He's probably not.
Now, Lou, don't make this be like when we had the menudo. Do not drop the ball like that again.
Now, Lou, I'm loyal. I'm as loyal as the next man who's not really that loyal.
You missed me sniffing a daisy at Descanso Gardens.
This lady's telling me that her husband had a nervous breakdown, and you have me flossing. Also, PBS not necessarily a union show.
That's true, I guess.
So Lou could have been disgruntled. Well, maybe Lou is. I'm making.
Hey, Lou, keep it together. Keep your scab ass together here.
Hey, Lou, remember, you took this job when nobody else wanted it. Well, why do we have to make Huelhauser bad? He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason.
I'm going to go into this kelp forest and meet me an octopus. Hey, now, Mrs. Octopus, you seem to have a very strange sort of intelligence. Are we bonding right now?
That would be a great documentary. Now, look at him. He's coming. He's wrapping his octopus hands around my arm now. It's unbelievable. This is fantastic. And you say he has 2,000 of those suckers?
So are we doing another movie next week?
Oh, sure.
Do you have anything?
Oh, sure. I don't have an idea.
You know what I want? You know what I scrolled by the other day that I realized I've never seen? Is Sugarland Express.
Let's do it. Wait, is that like a gangsters?
No, it's like Spielberg's first.
Let's do it.
Big one.
But is it going to be good enough where we're going to like it?
I don't know.
All right, let's do it. Well, how do we see it?
I know it's on something. It's on one of the streaming services, but you might. I don't know.
Oh, I saw a couple of minutes of a movie that looked interesting. But I didn't watch. Was Looking for Mr. Goodbar looked interesting. I don't know if it is a good movie.
It's okay. It's super dated.
Yeah. Tell me the name of the movie we just picked.
Sugarland Express.
Should we do? What's the other one? Is that better than doing THX 137?
Yes, much better.
And that's not.
That's George Lucas.
Yeah. Sugarland Express. It gets me a little excited, actually.
Yeah. No.
I just tried to. I'm trying to create. When I took that podcast workshop a month ago.
Yeah.
They said sometimes even if you're not feeling it, try and think. Pretend you're having a good time, even if you're not. Do you have to tell your partner every time that you're? He said that's not a good idea. the guy said at the workshop. I
Yeah.
don't believe it's a workshop.
I just wish you'd realize we're on camera and stop making that jack-off gesture.
Fuck you. Look at this guy. No, great, Josh. Josh, tell me more about your great experience over at the dental clinic. What, am I throwing dice?
I don't know.
What is it, craps?
I'm having post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Oh, I noticed that voice is no problem for you.
That's no problem. That comes natural.
Just like as we age, things go softer. It's natural.
His penis doesn't work.
You know, and I don't know if this is should be talked about, but a lot of women prefer softness as opposed to an erect. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize, but, you know, I'll give me a mulligan. Why do they have horrible things like that? Give the guy a mulligan. That sounds like a rich person's thing.
Well, it is. It's a golf term.
I know. Mulligan. I'm glad I didn't go with the golf.
Yeah.
Well, what is that? What is that to be proud of?
Taekwondo's gotten you a lot more meetings.
Well, I did tell you that my parents once actually told me that they would pay for me to join the Friars Club if I thought it would help.
Yeah. That was nice of them.
That was nice. But I didn't think it would help.
I think you were right.
And I wonder how expensive the Friars Club is.
I never even looked into it that far.
I think
Despite Bruce Smirnoff hard recruitment of me.
well, the New York one seems like the real deal or something if you had to go that route.
I guess so, but in the 90s, was that true?
No, it was the West Coast was happening.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. It seems like when you're in New York, I've been to the original one and you see the Vitalis in the bathroom. There seems to be something more.
Well,
Like,
when it's something that had a reputation for old Altacockers in like 1950,
That's right.
the chances that 40 years later it's going to be a vital place.
That's true. In fact, I can't imagine it's open now.
No, I think that I don't know if the New York one survived in any version at all, but I know LA closed years ago.
On I think it's Little Santa Monica Boulevard. No, what is that?
I think it was, yeah.
Around there. Very ugly building, and I don't think there were windows in it even. It didn't seem like there were windows. Why am I doing this, Josh? No one cares. No one cares unless I was going to talk about architecture, Rococo.
Yeah.
No. Now, we have not talked for the entire week. This is the longest time. This was so frustrating. It wasn't so frustrating because both of us were fairly, well, you're more mature than I am, but we did not blame each other. We didn't make the mistake of.
That's so many comedy teams make the
Yes,
finger with the
comedy
finger
team.
pointing.
I mean, I don't know what gets these comedy teams upset at each other. I think it's the material.
It might be that. Should we go to some questions?
Yes, and
I still don't have a musical sting for questions, so please give me one if you would.
Oh. Questions. Okay. See if
I
you
like
can
it.
use that.
Yeah, I know it's good. Pickles, pole position pickles.
Pickles.
Says
Is that your choice, or she actually chooses the pole position?
Well, I mean, I go to the oldest to newest.
Ah.
I go to the where you click latest,
Yes.
and then I start from the bottom.
Beautiful.
I don't mean to play such an open hand,
Right.
but Pickle says, would you rather look like a potato or feel like a potato? What does it even mean to feel like a potato? No fucking idea, they say.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like either one isn't. It's neither one of them sounds like fun.
I would rather just say potato.
Yes, exactly, and stay away from it.
Exactly. Jason Parton says, imagine and reenact, if you would, Jack Webb doing a Randy Newman song. or Randy Newman in an episode of Dragnet.
Well, I'm going to put this in your wheelhouse.
There's a red moon rising on the Cuyahoga River, flowing into Cleveland near the lake. There's an oral barge winding down the Cuyahoga River, flowing into Cleveland near the lake. That's all I got.
Now, some of these people, they could maybe imagine how it would go before they send the question.
I think so. They might have. It might be more fun, actually, to not send the question and just go off in your own little fanciful journey.
No, but there could have been something there,
Dan Marsh says, I've been watching SCTV a lot lately, and I was wondering how many Bobby Bittmans you two ran into in the late 80s. Were they still around? What was it like watching people either realize they were hacky and change or get squeezed out of the business?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I did not work. I worked with one guy who was like J. Wendell Walker, who had been on Ed Sullivan. So he was the guy who actually had that kind of
Catskillian thing.
Yeah, he would go, because I remember he did this one bit. He goes, I drove up in my car. Real good Buick. Like that was one of his lines. Real good Buick. Like that was, I don't get what that means.
I think the version of that we had in the 80s were hacky guys from the 70s. Like there was like a whole generation of comics who were the first ones to write an hour of material and get jobs as the comedy boom sort of started across the country. There'd be nightclubs where, that weren't comedy clubs, but they would hire comedians. And there was like the Gary Mule Deer kind of people, who had done colleges throughout the 70s and had this hacky crowd-pleasing hour. But, they were bar comics, essentially. And that was sort of the version of the burned-out hack that we encountered, was the sort of hacky bar comic who was just doing kind of anything.
But nobody, we were way past this classic comics, like who I would have liked to have hung around and made fun of. Like
the Jackies and Sheckies, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we missed that time period. But if you want to read the book, that book, The Last Laugh, is a very good book that describes like Lenny Bruce hanging out with Joe Ansis and giving a little bit of background of what that was like in those days, which is still further. I mean, I don't know anything about the Catskills, really.
Yeah, but that was definitely that era still.
Yeah. The Catskills in the 80s?
No, in the Lenny Bruce era.
Oh, yeah. I hear you.
Seth Dick III says, Mama Dick III just came in from the garage where was smoking a doob, her words, and listening to Test Show 208. She wants to know if Andy's George Carlin is really his impression of Rick Moranis doing Carlin, because she thinks it's spot on.
Oh, it's absolutely. I was knocked out. When I came to, was I knocked in? Weird. It's only by Rick Moranis I know it. Which is still the greatest. And, so good. Weird. And that's the odd thing for George Carlin was I felt that he had a very conventional delivery for someone who was doing more, controversial material.
How do you mean?
Don't just pretend I didn't say it.
All right.
No, because he kind of had that. He kind of was a little shticky, is what I'm saying. But I think that might be just me.
Yeah,
not getting his style.
I don't see the incompatibility really. I mean, he was still dressed hippie-ish and still, being, he was doing, a lot of times he was just doing wordplay, so why is that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess what would the alternative be? What would have matched his material more for him? Right. I guess it's also, I have an aversion to over-actory type of people. Like, well, you have an aversion to anyone who's trying.
True. That's a good point. I resent the enthusiasm.
Yes. Shucky Ducky says, no question today, gents. Just wanted to nudge you into getting Jen Kirkman back on the podcast soon. It's like a reward for us listeners. Thanks.
I agree.
fuck you needing a reward.
Oh.
All right, that might have been a little harsh. That might have been a little harsh. All right, I'm sorry.
People are just trying to have fun. Just asking.
I take it back, Shucky Ducky.
Well, it's almost like it's going to be good, so you don't use it as much and to annoy her. But she wouldn't be annoyed by it. She'd come right back on because she's a hero or a heroine.
Right. Why don't you reward yourself by listening to her podcast?
Boom. A lot of stuff going on with you, Josh.
I know.
A lot of stuff.
Dan Marsh says stand-up comedy has evolved over the years from joke book jokes to storytelling and social commentary, and more recently into talking about very personal stuff. Do you fellas have any insight into where comedy might go from here?
I see it as cyclical. I see it like the more...
So blackface is next again?
I think more cyclical in the sense of that sometimes people hunger for real, like a Lenny Bruce realness, but then sometimes you just want a Pee Wee Herman thing. So I think that ultimately there's no telling where it's going to. There's no telling where it's going to develop. It's not going to develop into another art form, or maybe it will. I don't know, like where we just make sounds.
I suspect that the personal is going to be the norm, because you can't really go back from that, But I also feel like there's a hack version of that now.
Yeah.
Of being personal and confessional and
yeah.
I mean,
that got a lot during the 90s where the comics were, everybody thought like being alternative was talking about auditions or
right. But I do feel like, when you're a comic, that is sort of, that's the journey you're on, is going from the outside in,
Right.
Like my first hour of material was all third person, was all observational, My most recent hour was almost all personal,
Oh, wow. I never thought about that way. That's pretty cool.
And I feel like that's an evolution, Because, ultimately, the thing that makes a great comic, or the thing that is the source of a good comics comedy, is what's the piece of ground that they themselves stand on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what you're always trying to explore, is what do I, J. Elvis Weinstein or Andy Kindler, bring to the table that no one else does? That's what you're looking for.
And I hope that it all continues. I'm generally optimistic, but then the other side is we could have some kind of extinction event
of comedy or humanity.
Just of humanity, because I saw one of these movies where it was like a comet came and they were all Gerard Butler, and they all had to trying to hide in underground bunkers, and it's like,
well, at least we already have the Zoom comedy paradigm.
With so much we've accomplished. I'm a generally optimistic person, but I do realize that optimism has to be tempered by the fact that there have been terrible things do happen.
Right.
But generally, like, I feel better now than I felt I always feel like things are going to get better. Comedy will improve and all, but as we found from the world, it's not always true.
Yeah, I don't really believe that. I mean, I think we are going to witness the downside of this current comedy boom over the next couple of years, coming to fruition.
How do you mean? Like from the COVID thing, or?
I think the COVID thing is, certainly will knock the legs out from a bunch of clubs,
Right.
And I don't know. I just feel like it's going to take a while for comedy to catch up, I think, with how everybody's feeling, because everybody has their own ordeal story now.
Well, it's tempting.
So it's like everyone's on the same trauma scale.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true, and everyone's trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
like where it's going to go. I feel,
and I think there's going to be an ugly 6 months to a year of everyone just getting their fucking quarantine material out of their system.
Yeah. that's assuming that it's going to get progressively better, which with the virus, which I guess it may.
I absolutely think it will.
Because of all the vaccines all over the world?
Yeah.
We're over the hump. We did it. We did it, Josh.
We're over the hump and not out of the woods.
Okay. I mean, I felt today, definitely, I feel more, well, it's been almost 3 weeks since I had the second shot. So I'm feeling more and more comfortable.
Yeah.
Ask me if I'm comfortable.
You comfortable, Andy?
I make a nice, I make a bad.
La, la, la.
31.
La, la, la.
32.
La, la, la.
33. Is that the comedy club after I do that joke?
Yes.
Is that something? Is it Lucky Problems? Doggy Problems?
You got Clyde flopping around over there.
I can't even hear. That's interesting. I can't hear as much as I normally would hear.
No,
Allison.
because you're getting a feed through my mic as opposed through my laptop.
Oh. Neither one of us are tech geniuses, but you're the tech genius in this couple.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in a different league than you. I'll be honest. I edited a movie. Come on.
I didn't even mind to get to that level. I didn't want to get it so.
I'm not that good, but I mean, I hate to be dragged down quite to where you are.
To my level?
Yeah.
Where do you see when I get my 8-track and I start competing with you for my overdubs?
I dream of that day, my friend.
Well, look, I got the new Mac Air, and that has definitely solved all the problems.
You've clearly mastered that already.
It's such a great computer, too.
Yeah, good.
I don't understand. I bet if we went online now, which we won't do, people will be talking about FaceTime. You can't do FaceTime anymore. Since Apple changed the configuration, no more flash drives.
All right.
On the FaceTime. I'm bringing the show down now, Josh. I realize that.
Richard Cole says, what is something I never dreamed I'd say? I have to mail my poop to the lab for cancer screening. Well, good
I know
for
what
you.
he's talking about, too.
Good for you for doing it.
Yeah, he's doing the
Cologuard?
Yes, and I went out for that part, and I love the part. Don't get me wrong. And I thought I did a bang-up job on it. Hey, dude, it's me, the Cologuard guy. Are you going to get your thing checked? It's easy. I make it easy for you.
You had an audition this week, right?
Yeah, I did pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
But that's the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did good. It was for I can talk about it. I mean, what's going to jinx it? Brian Posehn is doing a show.
Yeah.
And I could be one of the voices, and the voice would be the Wiener fish is the name. And so it's a Jewish fish. So I think I have it. Well, I don't have it, but I think I did a good job. And it was fun because one of the guys who's a producer is from Fall Out Boy. Do you know that group?
Yeah.
Do I know that music? Is it heavy metal or what is it?
It's louder than you're used to.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you turn it down is what I tell the kids. So anyway, I'm very happy with how it went. And it would just be for a presentation, like they would be making a presentation tape or something like that.
Yeah.
But and the reason why I'm saying it, Josh, is because a lot of people have been writing me, please keep us up to date on all of your goings on, Andy. A lot of exciting things happening, and I'm just letting you in.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Eastside 76 says a thought for this week, friends. The great John Mendoza said in his 80s stand-up set, why resort to racism when you can hate someone on a personal level?
Yeah, I love that. I love that joke.
I've lived my life by that creed ever since.
That's a very good joke. He's very fun. Now, is he only listening to John Mendoza because he's of the Latino background?
I can't say.
I just wanted to ask something that would.
Seems like you were the one who went there really more.
Yeah, I mean, it was just ugly. Everything about it was ugly. I'm glad you didn't get involved.
Gomar Comer says, which machines have each of you raged against?
That made me laugh.
Byron Allen.
Rage against show business.
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen. That's right, baby. Unimportant machines I rage against.
Have you watched any of the history of late night?
I have not. Should I watch it for material?
No.
It looks terrible to me.
It's not terrible, but you needn't watch it. You will not get new information from it. You'll see a few clips you haven't seen, probably.
And will I see Jeff Littlefield or whatever the hell, Warren Littlehead talking?
Yes, you will.
And will I see Jeff Zucker weighing in?
No Jeff Zucker so far.
No Jeff Zucker, because he wouldn't do it because it's his station. But he was one of the people who fucked it all up. No, that's why he probably won't do it.
All right.
So, do you have anything? I mean, is it? How would you rate it? B plus? C?
I'd rate it a B, I guess. I mean, if you know nothing, there's stuff to be learned, you know. And I suppose if you were 30 or under, there'd be lots of info there.
But it's not for us.
It's not for us just because we've been over it.
Yeah.
Rick Ludwin has a little bit of edge to him. The now late Rick Ludwin has some edge to him.
Yes, and now you know Rick Ludwin. Have we talked about the fact that Rick Ludwin was the person that I thought kept me off of we've talked about this, right? Yes, I remember because I was going to talk about it on the day he died.
Yeah. And
I said to myself, why am I doing that? But he kept me off of Conan. That was the charge.
Yeah.
That he because of me making fun of Leno.
I could see that.
And the other thing is that,
I mean, it was a pretty big assault on Leno you took up.
Yeah. And what did you think? Did you get along? Was he a nice guy?
He was okay. I mean, I worked for him, so it was. He was, one of the people I had to answer to, but I didn't ultimately have to answer to him that often,
But he was a guy who preferred Leno over Letterman, or that's the way I got it. Or
well, he even says in the doc, it's just like, yeah, well, Letterman had become a huge dick to deal with. He went out of his way to be unpleasant. So yes, that did have something to do with the decision. Wow,
that's weird, though. I can't believe that any of that was an excuse for. Well, let's not get back into that.
Well, the other truth was that there wasn't a decision to be made at the time because Leno's contract, when he re-upped before any of this happened, said that he got the job if Johnny quits when he re-upped to be permanent guest host.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How come I missed that part?
That was the one piece of information that was in the doc I saw.
Oh, well, I'm going to watch it then.
Tom the Tom says, "How do you feel about Wes Anderson films?"
I don't know if I've seen any Wes Anderson. What's Election? Maybe?
No, that wasn't that. Rushmore.
Rushmore I saw. I like that movie.
Steve Zissou.
Epstein, the Goldsteins, the Epsteins. Remembering the Silvermans?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
It's not Capturing the Silvermans.
No, it's the one with Gene Hackman and I can't think of what it's called.
It's like a fancy name of a group.
Yeah.
The Capelsteins.
Something like that.
Do you like his movies?
I like some of his movies. Some of them I like a lot. I liked Rushmore a great deal. I liked Bottle Rocket before that.
Oh, Bottle Rocket I really did like.
I think there's too much commonality to his movies. I think there's too much. This is a Wes Anderson movie about them in a way, but there's been times where I think that his aesthetic is charming and works, and there's times where I feel like it's sort of besides the point.
Inspecting the Friedenbaums, is that it?
Capturing the Friedmans, is that what you're?
No, it's not Capturing the Friedmans, but it's like Inspect it. It's like Captain Courageous. I think I've covered it.
You think?
I think you answered the question well, too. And that made me want to watch one more of his movies.
It's the Royal Tenenbaums is what it is.
That's it, yeah. Which I thought was okay. I didn't love it. I was drunk.
It was okay. Life Aquatic I thought was okay. I thought like Darjeeling Limited and the Grand Budapest Hotel and those felt like the same thing, kind of.
Yeah, I didn't see those.
Jordan Maywood says you're only young once, but you can be immature forever. What's something immature or childish you still do? Oh, the little podcast I call Thought Spiral.
I think that I still want people to know that I'm smart and I saw the concert first, and I knew this thing first, or I was the first one to try pot. Whatever it is, I have to always, or someone starts to talk about something, I go, I know that, what you're talking, I know something about that subject.
Right.
That's immature.
Well, but the self-awareness is mature.
That's my only saving grace, you told me during some bitter arguments.
Bandicoot B says, a few weeks ago, a listener asked, is there a material possession from your past that was lost or broken that you would love to have back? It sounded as if Josh had an answer, but Andy got in there and we never got Josh's answer. My life has been incomplete since.
Give me so it's like a thing that what?
A thing that you lost or destroyed that you wish you had back. And I honestly don't have one that stands out to me, quite honestly. The thing that I always think about is concert T-shirts that I no longer have but never threw away.
I still think that I had a decent collection of baseball cards or decent collection of toys that I threw away. I think I still wanted my electronic football game, but I would never have played it again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happened to me, really.
Yeah, I mean, sunglasses. A couple pairs of sunglasses that I really liked. Went into
Oakleys,
lakes.
some Oakleys.
A girl took a pair of my gargoyles once that I didn't get back from her.
I'm still sorry about buying that Tascam Porter Studio.
There was a hat in Singapore where I was standing there talking to Lewis Lee, and this Australian drunk girl starts coming up to us and is like, just desperately wants our attention, and she like takes my hat off my head, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to give it up enough to make this girl think I want to pay attention to her. And so she walks off with my hat, and I just let her.
That's so great.
And then one of the club employees comes up to me, she just took your hat. And I was like, yeah, you know.
It's so good. What a burn. What a burn. Oh, yes, you now have my hat. Nice going.
Yeah. And so the hat disappeared. She apparently flung it off somewhere in anger. But literally the club staff was looking for the hat and was like questioning her. And I was just like, you know what? I need my dignity says I'm just going to let her take my hat and go away.
That's so good. I'm very proud of you. I'm always proud of you, but now even more.
Bandicoot B. Plus, I had another hat on the trip with me. So.
Oh, I just realized something. You can't really hang up on me now because I can see you.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Okay. Don't be concerned about it.
But I'm starting to. I see where your head is.
Oh, no. I could go on for hours. I'm telling you, I don't think you should edit this at all. You're not going to, right?
There'll be some stuff.
Okay. You know what?
I'll tell you.
You're a better man than me. I'm lucky I'm not. We're lucky that I'm not the one who's in charge. Every week could be like, what the fuck happened? I don't know. I forgot. You edit it if you're not happy.
Bandicoot B also says, sorry for the double up, but did you see Dana Carvey's Biden impression on Colbert? If so, how do you rate it?
Did not see it.
Have seen a Biden that stands out? Seems like a pretty wide open impression space at the moment. Finally, Josh, have you dared to give Biden a try yet? I haven't, but I mean, first of all, I thought the Dana Carvey one was very funny and good. My sort of impression so far is just Jimmy Stewart at the bank is how he always sounds to me. I'm serious here. You know, like my father used to say, Joey, your money's not here. Your money's in Violet's house. I'm serious here. I'm serious here.
It's not one line from that movie. You forget.
I know it sounds corny, but I'm serious here.
I'm serious. That's pretty good. You know, he used to.
We're Americans. There isn't a single thing we can't do if we put our mind to it.
You know, the thing is that he did this before more where he would say, no, I'm serious. He stopped doing that. It was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
You go, I'm not kidding. Right. He's doing such a good job. It's frightening in a way. Not such a good job, but like everything he's done, I'm just thankful that it's okay.
Well, it's just such a stark difference, too.
Yeah.
There's not, it's just like that. The reason we aren't watching fucking news all day anymore is because we don't feel like we are 2 seconds away from everything falling apart. I feel like with Biden there's at least an hour and a half for everything to fall apart.
Yep. Agreed.
Isaac Crow says, my shift lead, we're all working remote-ish, always tells us on the group chat, BRB, got a potty. Should I quit? Yes, you should.
Yes, you have to quit. There's no choice. There's no choice. If someone says that, got a potty. You can't work with a person like that. They'll let you down.
It's true. Greg Kelly says, hey, I'll be in Chicago as this episode drops. Gonna take in some ball games and cold old-style beer. Without saying hot dogs or deep dish pizza, what do you like about Chicago?
I like the deep dish hot dogs. Have you had them?
Ding a dong bong gong gong.
Thank you.
I love Chicago.
Me too.
Food aside, I just like the vibe of the place. I love the riverfront. I love that view looking across the river to the Wrigley building and the two newspapers. I love it there. I love the sort of Midwestern big cityness of it, where there's still a little bit of the friendliness of the Midwest there, but also the sort of, hey, fucking get up to speed. It's a fucking city.
Hey, come on. It's not, we're not in Toledo. Pick up the action. I think you've described it well, sir. And
the show I've been out pitching takes place in Chicago.
That I'm going to be the Jewish friend?
You would be, except for nobody is buying the show.
Oh. Let me know if someone does. I'm going to be all over you for it.
Annotated MST says, Josh, what if a company was willing to pay you big bucks to change your name to promote their product for 1 year? Oshkosh Bagosh Josh, Macintosh Josh. Would you do it? And for how much? Yes, because I have nothing to protect. And the only caveat I would insist on being a part of the campaign in creating the vibe of the campaign. But yeah, I got nothing to protect.
The only thing I wouldn't do is like if someone says change your name to Adolf Hitler and round up Jews or something like that.
Yeah, that would take more money. Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Sous Vide says, now that the season schedule has come out and the dust has settled on the draft, I was hoping you could give each NFL team a letter grade on their off-season moves. I'll hang up and listen for my answer.
I don't know. I'm going to give the Jets an A if it helps.
I'll give the Jets a...
I don't think we have time to go through every team.
I don't think we do. I think there was some sarcasm in that question. knowing that it's something that we would never do.
But I got scared that even though it was maybe sarcastic, that we still had to do it.
Yeah, no. I'll protect you. Parush wants to know, what did you cook for Ramadan?
Who?
You tell me.
It's the Parush. The Parush is on fire.
I cooked the exact same thing I always cook for Ramadan. You?
What's that?
It goes without saying.
Oh, yeah. I had the best Ramadan meal I've ever had in years.
You make that Eid al-Mubarak stew. That's so good.
So good. And then there was the, if I could think of one more thing, Muslim-oriented, I would add it.
I think I was probably wrong with what I pulled, so I wouldn't try. Dan Wade.
Everyone knows that we're loving people.
We are loving people. Dan Wade says, as of last week, there are 384 hours of Thought Spiral available. When we get to Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours, what special skills will your listeners develop? You'll actually speak Yiddish at that point.
Absolutely.
Just through pure osmosis.
I think also people will be able to, by that time, laugh at their own goings-on.
I think so, too. I think just a glorious self-awareness that pervades everybody and makes everyone purely happy like we are.
Yes, and that's the thing, if we could communicate to people, is that it's just how much joy that both of us have.
Just joy.
Sweet Bahara.
Oy vey, it's already Thursday. I'm so late in tweeting my usual witty comment. What a week I'm having.
He's on fire.
Mozart 2 says, Andy, whatever became of Pray, Obey, Kill on HBO? Did you see it?
No.
It is all in Swedish, so for some subtitles are a detriment, but I thought it interesting for a true crime doc. As always, love the show and you both.
It's a true crime doc?
Thank you, Mozart.
Thank you, Mozart.
I believe it is, yes.
What is it called?
Pray, Obey, Kill.
Maybe I have heard of that
Just
one.
like the restaurant you wanted to open.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let me kill people.
Right. Mike Parrish says grizzlies have recently returned to central Montana, which is the farthest east since they were almost made extinct. Now more Montanans than ever are likely to get our faces ripped off when we go for a hike. What have been your scariest wild encounters?
Remember the raccoon that could get through the back? Well, the scariest encounter was when my ex-girlfriend and I were in a state park and we heard people running towards our car to kill us, and then so we started the car and drove out. Those were not wild animals; they were people.
Yeah.
We don't know what was happening. We were very high too.
Yeah, maybe they weren't trying to kill you.
That's probably the truth.
I haven't had that many scary encounters, really. Probably the most scared I've been is when I bent over to pick up what I thought was my then girlfriend's cat, now wife, and it was a possum.
Oh, my God.
But I didn't actually grab it, thankfully.
What would have happened? Would it bite you, or what did it
I don't
do?
know. But it probably would have involved a rabies shot.
Oh, because they can be rabid, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything positive about hanging out with a possum? Probably not.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it put quite a start into me.
Oh.
Because I was leaving and I opened the door and there was what I thought was the cat had just showed up to come inside. And then I reached down and thankfully it was like, oh,
Did you touch it?
no, I did not touch it. But I got
Did it run
very
away?
close. No, they freeze up.
Oh, they play possum.
That's their deal. Yeah.
What is the strategy behind that? The freezing up.
But Mike Parrish, I am glad to hear that we actually have a listener in Central Montana. I think that's very cool.
Also, John Tester likes our show.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, what do you do if you come up with a killer joke that really only works in another comedian's act? For example, now I just play in the shower. Obviously, it depends on your relationship, but let's say you think of a good Emo Phillips joke. Would you DM him?
Sure, I would.
Yeah, of course. I give Andy jokes all the fucking time.
Yeah, and he hates me.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine it was someone I liked. Richard Cole says, Josh, are you going back to Pilates class when stay-at-home orders are lifted? I'm going to try. My perfect situation has gone away. My teacher has moved to another part of town, and so the super close scooter distance studio is no longer there. So it's going to be a little harder to get the momentum back, but I'm going to try. I have started to do some exercise, though. Sethik III says, what did you pick up at the hardware store, Andy?
I picked up WD-40 and I had some keys made for San Diego goings-on.
Did you tweet about the hardware store? Is that the deal?
I think I did tweet. Yes, I said I was celebrating the trip into the hardware store as a victory.
All right. Did you go to any restaurants and stuff while you're down there, or how did you eat?
Yeah, we did a couple. I had some Mexican. We happened to eat on a patio, and then we ate on another patio. So everything was outdoors, or we took it to go. But things are changing for sure.
Yeah. Did you find yourself racked with paranoia, or did you feel?
No, I'm getting better.
Good. Well, this is a natural final question.
Okay.
From Goose's burner account. Your podcast is fantastic. I have only one question. Is there some way listeners can support you? Maybe purchasing your various media, or perhaps a financial transaction through a third-party coffee-related consortium.
I don't know about this. Do you have anything?
Hey, if you'd like to support our show, go to buymeacoffee.com/Let'sBuy or buy us a coffee. If you'd like to support Andy Kindler, you can go get Hence the Humor. If you'd like to support Josh Weinstein, go buy Michael DeBauer, Who Do You Want Me to Be? Or his funny album, Chunks. If you'd like to place a call, please hang up and dial again.